How you all doing? My name is Ehiaimiwu, founder of edufolks.com, and I'm a college instructor here in Atlanta, Georgia. Nice to have you again on EduFolks Report. Today I'm going to talk about President Ghadafi, who is the president of Libya, and his speech at the United Nations yesterday, and the perspective from which Fox News, I'm talking about Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity, presented it. They didn't really talk because maybe these days they are scared to talk because it seems their party is falling, the GOP is falling, and people don't share their twisted views anymore. So what they do to save their faces is to bring guests in to do the twisting for them, to do the bad talking for them. And usually when you listen to them, it doesn't make much sense anymore. I think they've lost their momentum. I believe their Fox News rating is going to go down. And that's why Glenn Beck is now out there trying to say all kind of crazy things to keep the ratings going. There are 4 things Ghadafi said, which I believe the American news media did not like. And they teased him and called him names, focusing on how he was playing with his robe, disorganization of paperwork on the table, the executives or representative of other nations walking out. I think that's very unnecessary. Let's focus on the message. His trip was supposed to speak for 15 minutes. He spoke for, 96 minutes? This is first time in the United Nations. So, I guess he wanted to express himself freely. But at the same time, I expected him to stick with the agreement. If it was 15 minutes, speak for 15 minutes. The first thing he said was he called Obama our son, not his son, our son. I watched the tape, and he was proud. He was proud that a fellow African, or an American of African descent, whose father was Kenyan, is now the president of the United States. That was a symbol that America's policies has changed. Instead of being this bully, tough superpower, it's now a superpower that wants to bring people together, that wants change, that wants to bring the races together, even across religious and gender lines. And when he said he wished Obama could rule forever, he didn't mean Obama should be a king. He was just trying to say this is kind of leadership we expect from America. Whether Obama was there for 4 to 8 years or another leader came in, regardless of race or color. And as an African American of Nigerian descent, I'm also proud of Obama. I'm also proud of the fact that Ghadafi referred to him as our son. It's an African son. And we do believe that it's a son of an African, a child of an African is an African, even by American standard. I believe it was 1 drop of blood. There was a rule in America, 1 drop of blood in a human being that is black, it's black. And it's true. Look at mixed children. Eventually, many of them get darker unless they bleach their skins to look light. He also commented on the UN Security Council. He said it should be abolished because it was unfair for 5 nations to make decisions for every other nation. They have the veto power. If they don't like it, nobody moves on. And he also said they've been ineffective since they were founded, that 65 wars have happened and they were unable to prevent or stop it. There's a point to that. Why have NATO? Why have armies? Why have the UN force? And when President Bush said he was going to invade Iraq without the support of the United Nations, Kofi Annan at the time said, hey, why don't UN officials leave Iraq? That was a very cowardly move on his part. You are the United Nations. You are the Secretary General. You should have made sure you stayed and told America, do not move, do not invade. We are still looking for bombs. And as history has found out, there were no bombs. Saddam was building palaces and swimming pools. He was enjoying life. He was building Iraqi paradise on earth. There were no biological, chemical, or even any kind of bomb. America, they were unable, even with the help of the Republican Army, I believe that's what they called it then, of Iraq, they were unable to stop the advancement of America. If Saddam truly had nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction and chemical weapons, he would have used it instead of hiding in a hole like a rat. So I don't believe he hid it at all. That was a lie. And the war in Iraq, he called that the war in Iraq should be investigated since the UN never supported it, and that some of our leaders, he didn't call their names, but he was talking about maybe President Bush, Rumsfeld, and Dick Cheney should be tried for war crimes. I'm an American. I would like to defend this nation any day. But what President Bush did in Iraq, or Dick Cheney, to me was a criminal activity. You can't lie against another nation, twist information against them, just to go to war, kill their citizens. 1.5 million Iraqi people died, so you can have control of their oil. And it's not just for the American, it's not even for the American nation, but for special interest. That is unfair. You can't sacrifice American children in the name of war, in the name of terrorism that never existed in Iraq, just for you to have some wealth and call yourself rich or living a comfortable life, and then tell us as the GOP you're going to have the wealth trickle down on the citizens. That's evil, and that is sinful. And for that, I believe if it's possible that the International Criminal Court and the UN wants to investigate and charge President Bush and Cheney for these war crimes, I believe they should go. And if they found, I hope they find them innocent, that'll be fine. But if they're found guilty, then they have to pay the price. We can't go to Nazi Germany and punish them for what they did to Iraq, to the Jews rather. Nazi Germany punished them for what they did to the Jews during the Second World War. I believe a lot of them were hung. And then we go do the same thing without the support of the UN. The UN was founded so that what happened to the Jews should not take place. He also talked about the Somalian terrorists, saying that the UN, we, including himself, were the terrorists, not the Somalians. His logic was that the West, the Arabs, have all come into Africa, exploited Africa, taken our resources, controlling our resources till this day, and putting puppet and corrupt leaders in Africa. I lived in Africa for 16 years, even though I was born in this country, and I see what happens over there. Intelligent black people never rule. It's always the uneducated, or if he has some education, was studied abroad, has ties with foreign governments, contracts, deals, oil deals, gold deals, diamond deals are never signed in Africa. They signed in Europe or in the Americas or somewhere else, so that paperwork or evidence can be found. So we can't just say Africa, the Somalians, so Africa are living in poverty, or they have bad leaders or corrupt leaders. No, no, no. The West is still in control of Africa. For those of you who are open-minded, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, I'm not a Ghadafi.